Hello and welcome to our 2023 State of the University presentation. Students, staff, faculty, and friends of Washington University, thank you for joining me. I know it can be hard to look up from our regular work at this busy time of year, and I appreciate your time and engagement. This year, most of us are back to in-person work and learning, and it's been a joy to see you on campus. Each day, I'm privileged to witness talented people using their gifts to make our community and our campuses more vibrant, safe, beautiful, productive, healthy, and collaborative. And while it's incredibly gratifying to know that the work taking place at WashU is changing the world for the better, some of the best moments come from the connections we make with each other as we pursue our individual and collective goals. Those connections are one reason I continue to teach. It's also why this year we're including some questions from our community members. As you watch and listen, I encourage you to write down any question you might have for me about the state of the university and our vision for the future. You can submit your questions via the email address on your screen, and we may feature it in a follow-up video soon. When I cast the vision for our work together, I often refer to three pillars, three essential components to growing into our next phase of success as an institution. The first of these pillars is academic distinction. That means improving our curriculum and teaching, investing in our research enterprise, strengthening our global partnerships, and bringing more research into the marketplace. It means investing in our students, faculty, and staff so that we are a place of distinction that attracts the world's brightest minds. The second pillar is increasing access to WashU for all deserving students. This includes our ongoing commitment to the WashU Pledge, which provides a Washington University education free of charge to qualifying lower-income students in Missouri and Southern Illinois. Finally, I am resolved to work harder to uplift the people of the St. Louis region and strengthen our partnerships with local institutions and organizations working to increase health, equity, and prosperity for all St. Louisans. We often refer to being in St. Louis for St. Louis, and importantly with St. Louis, and I'm more committed to that mission each day. It's not enough, though, to stand at a podium and declare your values. You have to listen, learn, put a plan in place, and create methods for measuring progress. And in October of 2022, after months of dedication and collaboration with many of you, Provost Beverly Wendland and I were proud to officially launch Here and Next, our strategic vision for our next era of impact, a comprehensive plan to put our values of academic distinction, educational access, and community impact to work. Many of you came out to our Here and Next educational and celebratory launch events in October. In true St. Louis fashion, we went through 1,500 plates of Pappy's barbecue and 3,000 scoops of Ted Drew's frozen custard. Now that I think about it, maybe we should go through the strategic planning process more often. Congrats, Provost, for bringing forth such a concrete plan. I'm excited to share some highlights about our efforts to build upon our strong foundation of academic distinction. And as you'll see, some of these updates span both our academic distinction and our educational access pillars, because of course, these efforts go hand in hand. Those of you who were with us last year will recall our shift to a need-blind model for undergraduate admissions, in which an applicant's financial position is not considered during the admissions process. Schools that adopt need-blind admissions typically see an increase in the quality of applications, and that's been true for WashU too. Highly qualified students who felt shut out by finances before are more likely to apply under a need-blind policy, and we are able to welcome more of them than before. Here's what that has looked like for WashU so far. For the fall 2022 first-year class, the percentage receiving need-based gift aid increased from 37% to 43%. This would have not been possible without need-blind admissions. We're making great progress with access for lower-income students. In 2013, just 5% of our students were Pell Grant eligible. Today, we're at 20%. This is really exciting. And 10 years ago, 5% of our students were the first in their families to attend college. I am proud to share that today, 15% of our first-year students are considered first-generation college students. And not only is our student body becoming more diverse, they are truly exceptional students, with most having SAT scores between 1,500 to 1,570 and ACT scores of 33 to 35. 91% of them were in the top 10% of their high school class. We're so proud that these future leaders chose to study with us at WashU, and I'll tell you in a few minutes about some ways we'll be supporting the shifting needs of our student body. I'd like to pause now to answer a question from a member of our community who asks, I applaud WashU's efforts to increase the diversity of our student body, and I wonder if we're committed to making similar progress on the diversity of our faculty. Thanks for asking this important question. Another component of academic distinction, of course, is being able to attract and retain a talented and diverse faculty. Here too, we're making progress and building significant momentum in this area. In the past 10 years on the Danforth campus, we've increased our tenure and tenure-track women faculty by 27%. Hispanic and Latinx faculty have increased by 88%, and Black faculty by 125%, which sounds like a lot, but the numbers were quite low to begin with. Overall, underrepresented and minority tenure and tenure-track faculty have been increased by 112%. On our medical school campus, the percentage of faculty who identify as underrepresented in medicine totaled 7.6%, which positions us to reach our 8% goal in fiscal year 2023, 4 years ahead of schedule. When the executive faculty approved this workforce diversity goal in 2017, WashU's underrepresented in medicine faculty comprised 5.5%, so that's a 72% increase since 2017. And the number of women faculty at the School of Medicine has increased 35% in that time. We all love to see these increases, but as I said, we also need to see our momentum building. And beyond the numbers, we want to keep our eye on the culture. Are we cultivating a workplace in which faculty of color and faculty from historically underrepresented groups feel empowered to succeed to their fullest? And are we creatively looking at the academic pipeline and working to identify talent earlier in their career and attract them to the academy? These are essential components to moving the needle. We are always looking to improve. On both our Danforth and medical campuses, we have working groups looking critically at issues of equity for women faculty and staff, and we remain dedicated to ensuring our institution and its leaders keep working toward a culture of empowerment, safety, and support. To follow along on our equity, diversity, and inclusion efforts, I invite you to view our newly launched website. Academic excellence requires top-notch leadership. To that end, I'm pleased to share that we have concluded our search for the next dean of Olin Business School, and that Michael Mazzio will step into that role on January 1st. Mike will be joining us from Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management, where he holds the title of Professor of Strategy and Faculty Associate at the Institute for Policy Research, and where he's demonstrated excellence in research, teaching, and service. I know you'll enjoy working with him as we build upon Olin's strong foundation to reach new heights of distinction. Let's take another question. I keep reading about professors at other universities getting disciplined for expressing controversial viewpoints or teaching about controversial topics. Will WashU be in the news next? Thanks for the question. It's certainly a hot-button issue affecting not just WashU, but all of higher ed. Every week, it seems another institution is in the news for issues related to free speech on campus, and they are coming from across the ideological spectrum. At WashU, we are not conflicted on this issue. We have a very strong tradition of academic freedom and free speech on campus, enshrined by our faculty and board of trustees, and our policy on academic freedom, responsibility, and tenure. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to do so. You can find this policy and other information on the Freedom of Expression page on the university's website. As described in the policy, academic freedom is defined as the particular freedom of scholars, teachers, and students within the university to pursue knowledge, speak, write, and follow the life of the mind without unreasonable restriction. It is a freedom to be judged as a scholar, teacher, or student when such judgment is necessary on the basis of legitimate intellectual and professional criteria. Does this mean you and I will be offended sometimes by the words or expression of ideas of our peers, our students, or our professors? It sure does. Throughout our lives, as we learn, we confront many ideas we find offensive, and we all need to learn when and how to productively respond. This is an essential part of intellectual growth and our growth as citizens of democracy. To fail at this mission would be to fail at our mission entirely. I encourage all of us, when we are confronted with ideas that offend or challenge us here on campus, to view those emotions as an indication of where our passions lie, then use that knowledge to fuel our purpose in a productive fashion. On that note, let's take another question. Chancellor Martin, I'm really proud of the work we do at WashU Medicine. What efforts are you excited about? I appreciate your question, although it may be the hardest one to answer because I find it all incredibly exciting. As a place of distinction, the School of Medicine continues to set the standard. Our medical school staff, faculty, and students remain at the top of their games this year, with some incredible work happening each day. In 2021, we were thrilled to announce that WashU Medicine received more National Institutes of Health research funding than all but 3 competing medical schools. And in 2022, we have climbed to the number 3 spot, a truly awesome achievement. In the past 2 years, research led by NIH-supported WashU medicine scientists has been translated into a nasal vaccine for COVID-19, now authorized for use in India and under development in the US. A blood test for Alzheimer's disease that can be used as a low-cost, easily accessible alternative to expensive brain scans and invasive spinal taps, and a brain-computer interface device designed to help chronic stroke patients retrain their brains to gain more use of their hands and arms. To level up in this significant metric amidst the unthinkable challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic is simply astounding, as is the potential impact of our research. I couldn't be more proud. As many of you know, one of my highest priorities as Chancellor is to increase access to WashU for deserving students who might not otherwise consider attending, either due to cost or cultural concerns. We would like them to know that they too have a place here, that we see their accomplishments, we see their potential, and we're ready to remove barriers and support their success. And this October, we publicly launched a bold initiative focused on student support, one that is essential to our mission and our strategic vision. We're calling it Make Way, our student initiative, because that's truly what we're aiming to do. Make a way for these students to learn, thrive, and then carry their education and experience on to their communities and workplaces. Through this initiative, we're asking for philanthropic investment in undergraduate and graduate scholarships. Our aim is to attract the most qualified students and make a WashU education financially accessible to them all. We also seek to enhance our student experience, making it truly best in class, empowering students to thrive by offering specialized orientations, peer and professional mentorship, services in health and well-being, meaningful career preparation, and additional financial support for unexpected expenses. Let's hear from one of our outstanding students, Drake, about what student support has meant for him.
I am from a really small town of Glassford, Illinois. My family's been in Glassford for the past 4 generations. My dreams were unaffordable until I got into WashU and was offered this scholarship of a lifetime. Probably one of the most formative moments of my life was opening that admissions offer in front of my family with everyone there, knowing that I would be the first in my immediate family to go to a school like WashU. Didn't change my perspective, I think it changed my path, because that opens the doors for a lot of lower income students like me, and it makes me feel proud of who I am and what community I came from.
Drake, we're proud that you chose WashU. I deeply believe that the time is right to think big on behalf of students like Drake, who, if given the opportunity, will become the trailblazing leaders of the future. WashU alumna and emerita trustee Joyce Buckheit and her husband Chauncey Buckheit have heeded the call and made a generous gift to help the university attract talented students from rural communities in Missouri and Southern Illinois. This summer, we'll welcome a cohort of high school juniors to the inaugural Rural Scholars Academy. At the Academy, they will, at no cost to them, receive specialized support for their college application process and encouragement to consider attending a world-class university like WashU. In December, we received a transformational gift in support of our first-generation, lower-income students from former university trustee Andy Taylor and Barbara Taylor, whose philanthropic legacy at WashU is truly extraordinary. With their gift, we'll build the Taylor Family Center for Student Success and what we hope will become the country's leading student services model to prepare students for life on campus and after graduation. It will include programs for developing community and belonging, for finding focus and purpose, and for building leadership skills and professional skills. Uniquely, it will also offer specialized programming for students' families, helping them learn how to support their student, stay connected, and navigate this stage of family life. It's a truly exceptional and visionary gift, and I believe it will take us a long way toward our vision to be the best school in the country for first-generation, lower-income students. These are just two of the many, many meaningful gifts we've received in support of our Make Way initiative, and we couldn't be more grateful for the way our community steps up for educational access and student success. The third pillar I want to discuss today is our mission to be in St. Louis and for St. Louis. And we can't talk about this without acknowledging that we're also with St. Louis. As I've said many times, the success of the university and the success of St. Louis are inextricably linked, and we're proud to work with our community partners to uplift and serve the region that we call home. To take our regional partnerships to the next level, I've created the new role of Senior Advisor for St. Louis Initiatives in the Office of the Chancellor, which is held by Lisa Weingarth, formerly the Vice President of External Affairs at the St. Louis-based nonprofit Rung for Women. Lisa will be the primary steward of the university's St. Louis initiative, working closely with me, Vice Chancellor Rebecca Brown, and the Board of Trustees to prioritize vital connections with external stakeholders, community leaders, and institutions. One of the most significant roles we play in the region is that of employer. In fact, WashU is the second largest employer in Missouri, with more staff than students on our campuses. And this year, our staff has a new champion in Scott Bemis, our new Vice Chancellor for Human Resources and Institutional Equity. We're happy to have Scott leading the way as we evolve our HR practices to include more emphasis and support for a diverse, inclusive workforce. Speaking of our workforce, you may know that I host a special celebration for those employees celebrating 25 years of service to WashU. And I must say, it's one of my most favorite parties of the year. This year, we're celebrating a whopping 183 of you, almost double the number in recent years. To all of our 25-year celebrants and those who've served even longer, I want to say thank you. You are the backbone of this institution, serving our mission with loyalty, intelligence, and heart. I hope you know how much we value your contributions, and we hope you'll feel proud of the impact you have on the university, St. Louis, and the world through your work. And because we have so much fun with our 25-year honorees, we'll be returning to in-person celebrations in 2023 and 2024 for more milestone groups. Be sure to watch out for your celebration and don't miss the chance to party with us. There are so many exciting things happening on our campuses and so much to be proud of that I could keep you even longer. However, I know you're all ready to get back to doing your part. As I've said, it takes all of us with our unique passions, strengths, and experiences to achieve the bold vision of here and next. I am honored to witness the ways each of you step up. I hope today that you've learned some things that make you proud or got you thinking about your role in fulfilling our WashU mission. And I'm certain you'll have some questions for me. Send them my way, and I'll get to them as fast as my snazzy new golf cart can carry me. Stay tuned, stay well, and thank you for watching.